I have just had garlic and onions. That's what my breath smells like. I want to welcome you to a brand new series of videos that I am doing every couple of days. These will be the Gjokan Astrology predictions. These videos are off the beaten path of the videos that you will find on my astrology channel because I have made it clear that I want to be as free as I can be this year. And I don't want to crop confuse. What I will say on this video will be to the point where I can't edit it so that it makes sense for what I do on YouTube, on my main channel. However, I do have to sort of get into the spirituality of it, so fair warning in that regard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sharing the chart for the moon in Aries from the 25th through the 27th of January and what is going to be going on the 25th of the month. Alright, so here we go. I always do the first day, the first official day that the moon is in that sign because I can't do all the days. So what's happening right now as I'm looking at this chart is that the moon is at anaretic degree of Pisces, and later that day is going to slip into Aries. So depending upon the person being born, you could have a Pisces moon or an Aries moon. Recall that the Pisces is the soft and feminine energy, while the Aries is the red masculine energy. Now, how does a moon in Aries play out in Gjokan terms? Well, on January 25th through the 27th, when the moon is in Aries, we have people working out in all the gems of Gjoka. Those gems are going to be filled with people coming in with hot sweat jeans and weight ups and all kinds of workout tools. They are going to be working out. There's also going to be the Orange Lime Festival coming up on the 26th, and that's a really famous festival. And what is predicted is that the bookshelves will be continually filled up because Venus is going to go into Pisces on the 26th, and that transit usually means that books are going to be organized and polished, and that romance and artistic authors are going to come into the play, and the bookshelves will be painted a white color. So it's a really organized and practical time for East and West Gjoka, although it isn't throughout the whole entire span of Gjoka. That's what I want to warn you about. As you can see here, we do have the moon in a sort of sextile with the sun. We're going to have a sextile with the sun January 25th because the moon is at early degree, sort of later on in the day. And what this could mean for Gjoka is that people's determination to stop at the signals will be really heightened. So people will have an enigma and a practical sense of this is where I need to go, this is what I need to do. You know, when people stop at signals, it usually suggests that they're trying to make a decision on what to move forward. And we know that we have the green signal, which is go, the red signal, which is stop. The green signal means it's time to go. And for the next 3 months, astrologically, it's going to really be the time to go for Gjoka and for the world, since every planet is direct. A sun-moon sextile with the sun-moon, sun in Aquarius, moon in Aries. This is a sextile that indicates harmony when it comes to peaceful protests. People are going to be protesting over food rights, athletic rights. People are going to be protesting over their freedoms as individuals when it comes to putting their clothes on the hangers. Because this is an image that I see largely for Aquarius, and it came through one night really strongly. And so with this sextile, this is a power significator that is really prized to Gjokan. So because they're working in harmony, the people that these people are protesting against, they're eventually going to be coming to a consensus or a compromise and try to negotiate solutions and debates for their terms versus the other person's terms to come to an agreement over the next needed action, so that these two forces can work in harmony with one another and not oppose one another, because sextiles are not the war aspect, which is a square. So we have the moon sextile the sun, and we're going to be having that going on. And then we have the moon sextiling Mars as well. So we have the sextile energy. And remember that the sextile energy is the grab the lemon out of the tree energy, meaning it takes a little effort, but we're good enough. So the moon sextile Mars. So we've had the moon in Aries sextiling Mars in Gemini, which has been going on since August 20th. This means for Gjokan at large that people are going to be widening themselves out to go to larger nations, and they are going to be telling foreigners the truth. I say this very largely. We have to consider the oppositions of signs when dealing with Gjokan astrology, which could pinpoint those signs in opposition to each other. Recall that Gemini is the small and Sagittarius is the large. And so, with Sagittarius being the large, people are going to be feeling the drive, which is Mars, to explore out to people and tell foreigners what they really think. These people are going to be from even, different parts of Gjokan, so it's likely that one part of Gjokan will be communicating with another part, because these Gjokan parts are really very distinct. They have their own customs, traditions in a way that is almost like you're going to multiple foreign countries in one huge nation. Just like all 12 districts in the Hunger Games, and I compare that a lot with Gjokan. They are all very different, and they are all on different levels of that pyramid. Don't forget that. These foreigners are very likely to be wearing red hats, blue hats, black hats, all different colors of hats. They are also likely to be having very tough accents, which is the Mars element to this, because it's a tough energy. They are also going to mean business, and they're not going to back down. So when these people confront the foreigners, they're going to be struck for their money. And I don't see a war breaking out because it's a sextile, but there's going to be some aggressiveness and assertiveness that's almost like a fight. But in a way, there is a fight bond, which, is like an oxymoron, a fight bond. Because the sextile is the bond, Mars is the fight. So people taking away their land, or people taking away their jobs or their rights, people stripping the clothes off their backs, people selling pretzels when these other people are selling corn dollies outside mall shops. Particularly the latter issue that I mentioned. people selling corn dollies instead of pretzels and vice versa. And there's going to be a negotiation about the fair price and about where these people are going to be selling these foods coming up. Because we have to consider that Gemini is really close to Taurus, and it is a food sign. So food's going to be that issue here. What I also see occurring is we have Uranus coming really close to the sun, and people's egos will be diminished, the mirror will diminish, and hippie parties and all kinds of things will be starting to come out. So dances of flamboyant clothing and people singing anamanas, particularly saying the words anana kamina. That word means I am free. Well, Sun Uranus, I am free. And so there's going to be wooden signs hung up outside of doorways saying I am free. There's going to be dancing parties, and it's going to be a take back to the 1960s in the hippie age. And I happen to know somebody right now who is really into that stuff, having the appearance of a hippie himself. So I hope that these predictions are mild-mannered and milk to the bone. And from bacon to bone broth, from Procter to Gamble, whatever that means. I am Ever Curdy. Have a wonderful 3 days.